Luckily, there exists way more than one version of things, animals, and people. Therefore, knowing how to change singular nouns into their plural forms in German is an important skill, which is why today we will learn exactly that. Let's start with the basics. First up, some good news. All plural nouns have the same gender, female. It doesn't matter whether their gender in the singular form is female, male, or neutral. We also do not need an indirect article. So the only article you need is die. If you're talking about an indirect plural, just skip the article altogether like you do in English. Now, let's take a look on how to form the plural words. In German, plural nouns are often formed by adding an n or en to the end of the singular noun. Let's take a closer look at the different ways to form plural nouns in German. Many feminine and masculine nouns form their plural by adding n to the singular noun. Whether to add en or just n usually depends on the last letter of the singular noun. When the noun already ends with a vocal, we generally add n. In case there is no vocal at the end of the singular noun, we mostly add en. Having too many consonants in a row is hard for Germans to pronounce. That's why we add the e to make the words easier to say. Now, let us look at some examples. Die Übung, die Übungen. In this example, the last letter is G. Therefore, we add en to make the plural easy to pronounce. Der Name, die Namen. Here, the singular already ends on e. Adding another e is not necessary. That's why we only add n. To make it even clearer, listen to these examples starting with words where we add n. Die Adresse, die Adressen. Die Familie, die Familien. Der Name, die Namen. Die Nummer, die Nummern. Now, some examples adding en. Die Antwort, die Antworten. Die Person, die Personen. Die Zahl, die Zahlen. Die Packung, die Packungen. Die Freundin, die Freundinnen. Did you notice something with the last example? Not only did we add en, but also an extra n appeared. Why is that? Well, in this case, it makes it easier for Germans to read and pronounce. If you look at the singular noun das Foto, meaning the photo, you may assume we just have to add an n to the end to form the plural form. That is not the case though. In reality, we add an s, making it die Fotos. This often happens when the word ends on o, but not often enough to really call it a rule. Another great example of exceptional plurals are die Mutter, meaning the mother, and der Vater, which is translated to the father. These two, and to be honest many more, are formed by changing the first vocal. Die Mutter becomes die Mütter, while der Vater transforms into die Väter. These are just two examples. To make sure you always use the correct plural form, you have to memorize them. I recommend always learning a noun's singular and plural form right away when you pick up a new word. I will also link a list of A1 nouns and the plurals in the description.